You're tuned in to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Welcome back to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast, where we are building connections, showcasing the impressive, and inspiring movers and makers. I'm your host, Lenora, and we're going to get a little sweet on this episode. So with some XAUXA, cold crafted, organic, vegan chocolate that's only made of 3 ingredients. I have one with me right here. There's 3 behind me. So Rosaria Giorgi, the CEO and the founder of XAUXA, joins us on this episode to tell us how they've perfected their chocolate with the help of artificial intelligence clustering algorithms and natural language processing methods. So Rosaria, welcome to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to hear all about your chocolate brand, XAUXA. Now, how did you come up with the name? Let's start with that first.
Sure. We understand the name isn't the simplest, but there was a reason behind it. XAUXA is a historical name of an area in South America, Peru, the ancestral home of cacao, which was renowned for being green, fertile, and with lots of agriculture. So the name XAUXA meant the land of plenty, the land of abundance. And we wanted to celebrate both the origin of our cacao, with sources from South America, and also the fact that our chocolate has also a lot of plenty of goodness.
What actually inspired you to start creating and making and selling this chocolate?
Well, I've always been very passionate about Mother Earth, and as a consequence about the food I buy for my family. However, I never expected others to follow in my footsteps. And a couple of years ago, I was at a dinner with my niece and nephew, both almost 20. And I remember fighting always with these 2 kids because they were always eating junk food. They loved their Nutella and McDonald's. That evening, there was some luxury chocolate on the table, and I was amazed. Instead of eating it, they were actually reading the ingredient list. And they were commenting on how long it was. And my niece even said, there's even artificial color. Who needs that in chocolate? And it was like an epiphany, because I realized how much the consumer has changed. Also, if my niece and nephew had those expectations from a chocolate bar, and also how right they were, because chocolate, after all, comes from cacao, and cacao is the ultimate superfood. The scientific name of cacao is Theobroma cacao. It literally means the food of the gods. But unfortunately, in the chocolate we eat today, there's nothing left of the food of the gods, because of the way it's made. And I started thinking, what if we could normalize real chocolate? And what if we could even reimagine the process of chocolate making? And the third question was, what if it even turns out it makes business sense to have the ideal chocolate? And so I started researching on the business side, and the results were very encouraging. And after that, I started working with the right people on product development. And here we are 2 years later.
So yeah, definitely tell us how the XAUXA chocolate is made, because you briefly mentioned the artificial intelligence.
Yes. So I realized there was the market opportunity and a big gap in the chocolate market for organic, sustainable chocolate. In order to create a new product, I needed an awful lot of data, and I needed to make sense of the data. And I thought that maybe artificial intelligence could be of assistance. After all, my husband and his company, that's what they do. They use millions of data. They mine the data and provide the data to capital markets for algorithmic trading. I asked them if they could do the same for chocolate. In order to provide me with the trends for the next 5 to 10 years on the topic of chocolate. And so that's exactly what they did. They gathered and mined social media posts, published articles, peer reviews, research papers on the topic of chocolate. and provided me with some key findings that then I incorporated into the process of chocolate making, the recipes, even the packaging and the branding. Another result of this practice was to preserve the cacao's superfood benefits and create a chocolate that kept all the good nutrients of cacao and the antioxidants. So we use a rare cold crafting technique, which means temperatures never rise above 107 degrees. As a result, the nutrients are preserved, the antioxidants are saved. We also don't conch the chocolate. Conching is a process whereby the cacao mass is mixed, ground, and kneaded, and temperatures reach even 194 degrees Fahrenheit. All of this heat kills off the goodness of cacao in conventional chocolate. By using cold crafting, we not only preserve the benefits of cacao, but we also save 430 aromas that are naturally present in the cacao beans, which are usually lost during conching. When you just smell, even before tasting our chocolate, you really experience the cacao beans.
Okay, that's my cue. Here's the chocolate I have right here. I have this Sicilian sea salt organic chocolate. Now I'm gonna open it. The package is great. So can you tell us a little bit about how you guys decided to design, do even these types of designs and even the logo?
Well, it was behind the packaging. There were different considerations. First of all, we had to stand out, and the artificial intelligence assisted data mining. One of the points that returned to us was the importance of packaging when it comes to food products, because it has an influence on the choices consumers do. Also, it was a new chocolate, so we had to stand out on a very crowded chocolate shelf. So we commissioned an independent artist and we provided a creative brief of what we wanted to achieve. And also we are a female-owned company, so of course she was inspired by the female figure. And at the same time, my background is in fashion, so I think a little bit of that aesthetic went into our illustrations. And finally, we also use a soft touch effect on the paper, because when you touch it, it has a velvety feel. And we wanted just on the outside and then at the touch to reflect the quality inside the box. It's also resealable, so if you can resist, you don't need to eat it all in one go.
Okay, so I opened it. I opened it under the table so you didn't hear all the crackies. So I'll open it for you for right now. So for those who are watching, this is one of the examples. In the back, like she mentioned, it does have this like little slash, so it helps you open it up. And Rosaria, you were not kidding, girl. Let me tell you, I can smell the chocolate. Like from this far away, I can smell. Chris, I don't know if you can smell this. Can you smell the chocolate? Who is our engineer on the other end? Can you smell this?
Nope, not yet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is how it comes in. And I do, like you said, if I didn't want to eat the whole thing, because no way I can survive eating the whole thing.
Bar? Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the bar, Chris. Here it is, friend. You do?
Yeah.
You're right. The aroma is just so, I wish this was like a 4D thing where somebody could like smell the chocolate. Okay, let me take a little bite.
Also, our chocolate has a very unusual texture that you are going to experience very soon. But it's made at low temperature, and we don't add cocoa butter. The sugar crystals in the cacao mass don't melt. So it has a crunchy texture, which is very much appreciated by people with gluten allergies or intolerances, because it's a crunchy gluten-free snack as well. And I'm told that a lot of gluten-free snacks don't have a nice snack or a pleasant bite. So what do you think of it?
My mom and my brother are gluten-free, and when I tried those foods sometimes, you're right, it doesn't really have the taste. This is really good. I have this sea salt. Let me go back again one more time. This is the sea salt one that I have here right now. And I love that with the crunch, I can taste that bite of like the sea salt kind of going in, which is absolutely perfect. And I'm super excited to even try the other one. So I have the sea salt flavor right in front of me right now. What are some of the other flavors that you do have?
Okay, so each bar only has 3 ingredients. So beside the organic fair trade cacao, we have unrefined organic cane sugar. And the third ingredient is the flavor. So in the case of sea salt, is hand-harvested sea salt from a natural reserve in Sicily. The orange, of course, has the Sicilian oranges. It's an orange grove behind the chocolate lab in Italy. And the oranges are hand-harvested and then killed, and they end up in the cacao mass. Then we have the pistachios, the famous Sicilian pistachios from the most active volcano in Europe. They're harvested once every 2 years only. They're never watered. They grow on volcanic soil, so they're particularly intense in flavor and very green and also red because they're burnt by the fire of the volcano somehow. And then we have almonds, again, a special type of Sicilian almonds, one of the sweetest almonds ever. And it's extremely flat, pointy, and quite a big almond. And we use full pistachios and full almonds in the bar.
That's so detailed. Thank you for all of that. Seriously, no joke, because I'm able to remember exactly those 3 ingredients, and I never remember what the heck is on the back of something that I eat. Like you said, when your niece and nephew looked at it, there's so many different things. And for here to know that I just turn it around and 1, 2, 3 is super easy, and it makes me feel more comfortable, eating something when I know exactly what I'm putting into my body.
It's true. And we have a fully transparent supply chain, because when it comes to chocolate, sometimes you don't know exactly, how the cacao was sourced, what child labor involved, etc. So we have a fully transparent supply chain within the fair trade network. So it's also really a guilt-free pleasure on both levels, ethical and the taste, I think.
So, Rosaria, how can we buy these?
Well, we sell online. We sell and ship all over the US, so through our website. We also have some retail stores in the US. So if someone wants to inquire about that, they can send us an email. But they can just go on our website, and we will be happy to ship to them.
That's XAUXA.ca. That's XAUXA.ca. One more time, XAUXA.ca. If you'd like, you can give them a phone call too at 647-479-9545. Or shoot Rosaria an email, info@xauxa.ca. That again is XAUXA. And you can check them out on socials as well, Instagram and Twitter @the XAUXA, and on Facebook, XAUXA Inc. Rosario, I'm so excited to eat all this chocolate, and I'm so happy that it has the little save side, because this is perfect, because I can keep this in my bag and always just snack on it throughout the day.
Perfect. It's the perfect companion while you are out and about and you need a pick-me-up.
100%. So, Rosaria, thank you so much for joining us today on another episode of the Brand Ambassador Select podcast. I'm your host, Lenora, and that's a wrap. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss one. More at brandambassadorselect.com, and we will see you next time.